Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you how to use our Gale and context databases to search for resources for your decades project. So we're going to start on our library resources page, go down here to Gale, and then we're going to choose Gale High School in context because that's kind of our general all-purpose database for research. On the Gale in context homepage, you've got a search right here that'll let you search for topics. Which we're going to do in a second. You can also scroll down and browse different topics and topic pages. So this can be really good if you're not quite certain exactly what you want to focus on. We're going to look at the history one because this is going to show you all of the topics related to history that are on our Gale in Context database. So this can be really good if you're not certain what your topic is going to be yet, or you just kind of want to look for ideas. There's a whole bunch of topics in here, including a bunch that are focused specifically on the decades. So this is really handy if you just want to get kind of general context for your decade in your project. So I could go and click on one of these, like the 1950s, and then it's going to give me this topic page, which has an overview of the topic. And then down here, there are different resources in this kind of gray bar. So I can click on any of these and it'll take me to that particular type of resource. So we have reference, which includes things like dictionaries, encyclopedias, kind of general overview. That's really good for building context. There is one for primary sources. Not every topic or search is going to have primary sources, but if it does, you're going to see that listed here. With magazines and news, those are both periodicals, so they count if you need periodicals. And academic journals, which are kind of like college level scholarly journals, those tend to be a little bit heavier in the content, but that can also be useful. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on magazines just to get magazine articles related to this topic. And these are all different magazine articles that have the topic of the 1950s. If I wanted to switch over, I could go back up to the top and I can click reference. And now I've got reference articles. Just for sake of example, let's say I wanted to get this article about the Beat movement and I want to save that as a resource. I can go into here. And again, just as a review, within every Gale article, you have these accessibility tools up at the top. Over here, you have the Explore box that has more related articles. So if you find a good article, that can be a good place to find additional resources. Up at the top, I have my Cite button. So I'm going to click that Cite button, and it's going to give me the MLA citation of the article. I'm going to click Noodle Tools, and now it's going to give me the option to import that citation over to my Noodle Tools folder. Again, you can kind of scroll through the article. There's more stuff at the bottom. Gale also works really well just with searching. So I can kind of do big, broad searches. I can do more specific, narrowed down searches. A lot of times I recommend starting with kind of the big picture of your topic and then narrowing it down to names of people who are important within your topic or important events, different things like that to kind of find more resources. But usually I recommend you start broad and then kind of like narrow your search down. So let's say if I want a broad search, maybe I want to look for the civil rights movement. So I can go to civil rights movement. What I can see here is that it's bolded and that the first letters are all capitalized. So if I click that, that's going to take me to this page about the civil rights movement in the 1950s and 60s. It's that topic page again, so it has that overview and then the resources down here. So again, I could click into one of these like primary sources. And then I can see all of the different resources that fall under that category. Now, if you do a search and it becomes a bit too broad, you can also work on ways to kind of narrow it down. So let's say, for example, that I want to research the space race. I'm going to search space race. Again, that's taking me one of these topic pages, so I can go and search. Let's go in this news article one. Looking in news articles for space race, there are 4,000 articles here. So it's going to be a lot more than what I want. Over here, I can filter my results. And the one that I find is the most useful to do is to filter by subject. So here I can search for different subjects within here. A lot of these are really current subjects, so those aren't really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like moon exploration and moon landings, the Apollo missions, things like that. So I can scroll over here and I can look for things that are the most related. So I saw one for moon exploration. I'm going to click that. And now all these articles are just related to moon exploration. Again, I still want to kind of look at the context because some of these are more current missions to the moon. So I might want to change my search up and maybe I want to do a search for Apollo missions. This one you'll notice doesn't have bolding, so it's just going to go to the search page. So if I do that, now I'm only searching articles about Apollo program, Project Gemini, things like that. These are a little more related to what I'm looking for. And again, you can go in one of those articles to the Explore More like this, click Cite, and that lets you send that citation over to Noodle Tools. So that is the basics of how you use Gale in Context to search and to save resources over to your Noodle Tools. And again, I really recommend start your searches really broad and then start to narrow them down. You're probably going to have to do a lot of different search terms to find all the different types of sources that you're going to want. But that will help you to get a better, broader range of resources in the long run. And that's how you use Gale in Context.